inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you, cause real women don't bitch, no. Real women don't, 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 real women don't bitch.
Hey, thank you for joining me on the Real Women Don't Bitch podcast. This is your proud host, August Crenshaw, aka Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. I am the #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs because building mental muscle is necessary in order to implement successful business strategies. This show has been created for the woman who is not excuse-driven and needs help building a profitable business. I will be interviewing women from various fields who are willing to break the silence on struggles that specifically affect female entrepreneurs. Welcome to a show where I and guest speakers from time to time share our methods that help us beast our business no matter what is going on in our lives. Whether you are an online or brick and mortar business owner, this show is for you. We will hit every angle, personal, professional, and spiritual. Why? Because on any given day, you get hit with shit from a scenario involving one, more, or perhaps all of the above. It all impacts you and your mindset towards your business. I have made it my personal mission to provide a space where we dive deep into the BS we face on a day-to-day basis. Detox time. Yeah, come on. I know some of you are raving health fanatics that listen to the podcast and you detox once a quarter. But we know, right? It's the top of the year, and what do most people do? They want to start off the year right. They're going to commit to their bodies, and one of the first things they do is they decide to detox. Let me get all of this junk up out of me. Well, I'm going to talk about detoxing today. I want to talk about detoxing, but not the body. I want to talk about detoxing the mind. But I would like to draw a correlation between the two because I believe that it's important. There's this thing where, a lot of you really haven't differentiated between whether or not you're fortifying your mind and you're filling yourself with moments of motivation. So you listen to some of these, episodes, you go on YouTube and, you listen to one of the other gurus, get you hyped and you're like, yeah, that's what I needed in order to keep going. No offense, but, motivation does not build businesses. And while I love to motivate and inspire people, I prefer to empower women to take action. I mean, the name of the podcast is Real Women Don't Bitch. Tagline, they get shit done. So I'm really not about you thinking. I'm not about you feeling. I am about you being purpose driven and actually doing. So let's talk about this. When you go through a detox, what happens? And no, I'm not getting ready to label everything. And I'm going to have me a guru on here in her own right. I'm calling her that. I don't know how she's going to feel about me calling her. But I got some woman that I really respect. And I'm going to have her come on here and talk about health. But she'll tell you that even though she eats healthy, she eats a vegan diet a vegetarian diet, that when she does a detox, all of a sudden she starts craving something random like Oreos. Even though she knows how to make her own healthy chocolate treats, the whole nine. And she talks about all of these triggers that come up. Sometimes the fatigue, laying down, needing to rest, all of these things. And for those of you that have ever done a detox and you've never done one before, you know that it can be a living freaking hell. Your head is hurting. You start feeling like you got flu-like symptoms. You want to quit on the detox. A lot of people, come on, tell the truth. You do, because it feels so painful. But if you've got someone by your side doing it with you, guiding you, coaching you, they'll tell you, no. See, what's happening is because you're doing this detox, you've allowed your body to identify the toxic elements inside of you. See, you've been walking around sick for a long time, and now your body is pushing all of this garbage out of you, and it doesn't feel good because it's a foreign agent and it should not be there. Well, guess what? A lot of you need to detox your mind, and you are going to go through the same thing. Being around somebody who's going to say, okay, well, here goes your detox for your brain. We going to challenge what you thinking about with your self-esteem and your confidence, your rules of engagement. We going to start talking about all of this stuff. Bam, what you hiding behind the shadows of? What do you fear? What's your real vision? And baby, when you gotta face your mind and realize that it's easy for you to quit, that you make up excuses, that you play the blame game, that you always got a reason why something doesn't work, and you gotta face yourself, baby, just like that detox physically hurts your physical body, your mental detox also hurts you. I've seen some of y'all lay in the bed, pray and cry and pray, fuss and cuss. I've been down before, just laid in the bed and felt like I want to quit or give up. Yes, Miss Bold, tell it like it is, a push through. That doesn't mean that I've never wrestled with this stuff. The question isn't does that happen, but at that moment when you want to quit, what do you do, and can you and will you get back up? And so a lot of you, when you're working with a coach that's like myself, when this phase of the relationship pops up, it's where a lot of you want to quit, but it ain't about the coach. It's not about what I'm doing. It's about the bullshit that's in your mind. You need a mental detox. You got to get all of that garbage out of you. I'm only helping you identify the fact that you have limiting beliefs. I'm only helping you identify the fact that you play the blame game. I'm only helping you identify the fact that you have an entitlement mentality because you believe because you've been consistent for 7 months and now all of a sudden you don't make enough money to walk away from your job, that life just isn't fair. You know, it's like, what in the world is this? You believe that you've been consistent? Well, there are people who have done more and been around for a longer period of time that will tell you some even more horrendous stories than what you're going through right now. A mental detox hurts. Your journaling, your meditation, your sitting down, fueling your brain with positive words, the right music, all of that stuff. There are points in the game, baby, when you say, hey, I got to get my mind right, that you end up being on the brink of quitting. If you have started a business and you haven't went through those moments of being mentally challenged, then I say you playing too safe and you're being very comfortable. And there is a moment when if you play things too safe and you stay comfortable, that you may still end up being okay. But most people, you're going to break down because that means that you're not allowing your mental muscles to be exercised. And so they're going to be a little weaker. And there are always transitions and changes in life and in business and the economy. It will come back to bite you in the butt. So, who needs a mental detox? How many of you hurt sometimes because of the things that you hear? How many of you have listened to the podcast every once in a while and was like, I'm not listening to anything else that woman has to say, but then you found yourself coming back because something I said in a podcast episode like pissed you off, but then you had to come back and say, oh, I guess she was right because it was confirmed later by somebody else. You ain't got to tell me. You can go on one of the social media platforms and message me and tell me. That's cute. Every once in a while, I do have somebody that does that too. But just understand, you're not crazy. What you're feeling and what you're going through is just a mental detox. And just like detoxing your body, there will be moments of discomfort. There are toxic thoughts that are in your mind and you've got to get them out. And because it's foreign and it's against the actual promises of God, because it is against the natural desire of the universe to bless you with abundance. It is going to war to stay embedded in its space. Pulling those roots up takes effort. And you guys, if you got a weeded root, how many of you all have seen the root of a weed be 20 times longer than the weed itself? And if you've ever tried to pull one out of the ground, you can pull and pull and pull and dig, and you will have sweat drenching down your body. Well, when you pull and you pull and you get to the root of why that thought process is in your mind, then you start seeing the weeds from your childhood, the things that your friends, so-called friends said, the so-called family that love you, the put downs, the insults, the abuse, the mistreatment, the sideways comments that people took for granted that it actually meant what it did. You start pulling all that's the stuff starts rising up, and you got to face it. And then you got to think about the people and the relationships and what kind of decisions you have to make. And you don't want to think about all those things, but you're going to have to. Building a business requires a mental detox. So there it is, ladies. I told y'all I'm feeling some kind of way. I really, really am. So part of rejuvenation for your mind is a mental detox. I'm looking forward to hearing the feedback from this podcast in particular. In the meantime, in between time, don't forget to connect with me on social media. Don't forget to head over to augustcrenshaw.com and go ahead and stop wrestling and tap into the goodies that you need in order to help you reach the goals that you are looking for in 2019. Don't forget you got your free gift for the Close the Sales webinar, creating a connection with your clients so they cash out. I love you guys. All right, we got this. 2019 is our year. I love you. Deuces.
Thank you for joining me today. Remember to cultivate a mindset that is biased towards taking action. No bitching, whining, or complaining. Here, our mantra is, real women don't bitch, we get shit done. See you next week as I continue to bring you what you need to keep your head in the game and beast your business. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Would you like a specific topic covered? Have a question you would like answered live? Then head on over to realwomendon'tbitchpodcast.com. Subscribe to my email list, hit me up, and I got you. Interested in being a guest speaker? You walk the walk? Then you can sign up on the website too. This is your #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs, Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. Signing out. Deuces.
Inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you.